What's going on, champion? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well today and I hope you are having a fantastic day. So right now we're talking about how to get pre-approved for a mortgage. Millions of Americans are wondering how exactly they can get into their dream home, especially millennials. Millennials are left out in this hot housing market, struggling with this hot housing market. So if you are one of those people, you are not alone. In fact, you are at the right place right now. So in today's video, I'm going to give you some tips, helpful tips that will hopefully land you that green light that you need in the pre-approval process. But before we dive in, if this is your first time stopping by this channel, welcome. Consider subscribing now to join this amazing community to stay informed on the latest helpful tips for your financial wellness and financial success. And also give this video a thumbs up and share this video to help other people get this information quicker. So let's jump right into it. So what do you need to know about the pre-approval process? We're going to talk about it as well as the biggest questions that most people are asking. So the very first thing here is, why is the pre-approval process important? I mean, most people say the pre-approval process is a big deal. I mean, we can accept that, right? But why is the pre-approval process a big deal? Here's the thing. It's a very helpful thing to have. The pre-approval letter is a very helpful thing to have if you are looking to get serious with purchasing a home. It puts you out there and makes agents know, and sellers as well, know that you are serious about purchasing a home. And it lets you know how much home you can get. Basically, the pre-approval tells you this is how much home I can buy based on my income and based on all the circumstances around me or my financial situation. That's what the pre-approval letter does. So this is why it's important. It is the very first step to getting that loan, that mortgage that you are seeking to get into your dream home. So that's why this is important. So next up, this is the next big question people are asking. When should I get pre-approved? So when exactly should I get pre-approved for the loan? So ideally, you do want to get pre-approved like yesterday or today. Okay, so here's the deal. All kidding aside, right? All kidding aside. So you do want to make sure you get pre-approved within 90 days of your target date. So if you are planning to get into a property or into your dream home in the next 3 months, you want to start right now with the pre-approval process, and you want to have that at hand while you go shopping for your dream home. And in this hot housing market where, I mean, properties do not even last more than 48 hours, you want to make sure you already have your pre-approval at hand whenever you see a home that you would like to make an offer on. So you need to get started within 90 days of your target date. I hope that makes sense. So the next question that people are asking is, how long does the pre-approval process take? How long will these take? So the short answer is it depends, but I guess that's not what you're looking for. The real answer here is it could take as little as 3 days and it could go as long as 3 months. It depends. It could go from days, weeks to months. It all depends on how soon you can clean up your documentation and gather all the required documentation. Now, one more thing I need to mention that I forgot to mention on when you should apply or when you should get the pre-approval. You want to get your pre-approval when you've paid all the big debt. So when you've basically cleaned up your credit, you've cleaned up all the debt, and also when you have an emergency fund and a reasonable down payment to put down on the property. That's when the ideal time to get your pre-approval. So next question here is, will it hurt my credit score? I've heard this multiple times from different people. So whenever you're getting the pre-approval process going, or when the lender is running the pre-approval process, or getting your information to run the pre-approval, they will basically need to take a look at your credit score or your credit report, and your credit score will definitely get some inquiry, or we get an inquiry depending on how many times you apply for pre-approval or how many places you apply for pre-approval. So more than likely, I'm not going to say flat out here that it will hurt your credit score, but it might take some points away from your credit score, but typically this falls off within a year, or basically the impact falls off or wears out within a year. And again, you want to talk to your lender. This is something you want to ask your lender about before they run that credit check. You want to make sure that you ask them, hey, how is this going to impact my credit score? So next up here is, where can I get pre-approved? Now, this is the biggest thing that most people are wondering too, right? Do I need to go into the bank or the financial institution and set up an appointment with the banker? For all intents and purposes, if this is what you feel like doing, do it. But you do not have to leave your bedroom to get pre-approved for a loan. Let's talk about it. In order to get pre-approved for a mortgage, you can sit in your bed, or you can lay in your bed in your PJs, and from the comfort of your bedroom with your smartphone or laptop and access to the internet, you basically can get pre-approved online. That's all I'm saying. You don't need to leave your home to get pre-approved. Right now, many lenders can do this through the web applications and the mobile applications. So you can definitely do what you feel best suits your needs. If you are a face-to-face person and you want to get out there and talk to the bankers, that's good for creating the relationship and the rapport, but by all means, do what works best for you. Okay, so next up here is, how much does it cost? Okay, I know it all sounds like, now it all sounds good. You know all the things you need to do. You've heard the biggest question, but is this a free service? So most lenders will offer you or will give you a pre-approval at no cost to you, basically $0. But here's the deal. Some lenders will charge you a few $100 for the pre-approval process. And typically, most lenders, I said most lenders that charge you will likely give you credit. So the amount they charge you, they'll give you that credit towards your closing costs if you end up going with them for the mortgage. So you do want to check with your lender before you run out there and start having them run your credit check. You want to ask them, how much does this service cost? Is it free to get pre-approved? You want to check with them. But like I said, most lenders would do this at no charge. Okay, so next up here is required documentation. Now that we've covered some of the biggest questions that you are wondering or that you have in your mind, we need to talk about the documentation that you need to get that green light, that thumbs up from the lenders. Okay, so the very first documentation that you need is a government issued ID. So let's talk about this. You need to have a social security number if you live in the United States. And you also, so here's the thing. You may need a driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license, a U.S. passport can pass for it if you are a U.S. citizen, because you have to show your proof of citizenship. And if you are not a citizen, a resident permit or a green card will also pass for getting that government issued identification. Again, you want to check with your lenders for the specific identification requirements that they need, but for sure you need a government issued ID and your social security number to get pre-approved. So what else do you need? You need a credit report. So your credit report needs to be on point. Well, maybe not on point. It's relative when I say on point, depending on the program that the lender is offering and the loan type that the lender is offering. There are different credit scores needed for different loan programs, but I'm not gonna get into that in today's video. But you just have to understand that one of the required documentation is your credit report. So your credit report tells the lender your credit score. It basically gives them a snapshot of how you handle debt. So how is your credit life? Are you credit worthy? That's all the lender wants to know, because guess what? They're gonna be lending you tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. In most cases, I mean, multiple six figures, right? In terms of loan. So they do want to make sure that you have the ability to repay them, or that you are actually credit worthy. So they want to take a look at your credit score. Now, what else do they need from you? The next documentation here is proof of income. So the lenders really want to verify your employment status. Are you employed? Are you unemployed? They want to verify that. Are you self-employed? They want to verify that. So they need your pay stubs, your last 30 days of pay stubs in order to do the income verification. And they also need things like your W-2 forms. So for the last 2 years, typically that's what they ask you for. So you need to turn in your W-2s, and they also need your bank or financial statements. So your bank statements and your brokerage accounts, any of those information, they need those statements from you. And also they need your tax returns for the last 2 years. So these are some of the major documentation. I'm not saying this is the absolute that this is the absolute documentation they need. Some lenders may need more from you, but just for a pre-approval process, most of these documentations that I've outlined here should be able to support the pre-approval process, but you want to check with your lender. So I hope you gain some insight from this video. Now that you know what exactly you need to get pre-approved, and you know how long it takes and where you can get pre-approved and how much it costs to get pre-approved. If you found some value from watching this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and also share this video with other people to help them get this information quicker. Stay safe, see you in the next update, and stay winning.